After a week of adjustments, the current phase of Alcheme development is mostly wrapped up. It is in testing now. So I am skipping the changelog today. I want to explain why I started building PyreLine. The past week exposed two problems: model usage limits and overengineering. Small changes kept turning into large redesigns. More than once, a model drove me to swear. I tried other tools and models. Each had a strength: speed, careful checking, or rough prototyping. None was right for every task. Projects trade off speed, cost, reliability, and risk. Strong collaborators adapt their way of thinking to the task. They slow down when consequences are high, explore when the problem is open, and move fast when a rough prototype is enough. That is why I think the future will be multi-model, not one universal model. A developer should be able to choose and combine them without rebuilding their work whenever a provider changes its limits, pricing, or behavior. The model is important, but a model subscription is not a work environment. That led me to PyreLine. I built the first version quickly with Grok, then had Codex review it before publishing. That is the point. I used one model to build a tool that lets me depend on any one model a little less. Prompts still matter, but a prompt is only one part of an agent. An agent also needs a loop, tools, permissions, state, and memory. PyreLine is a local-first desktop workbench for coding agents. Its goal is simple: I can change models without losing the task, process, evidence, and memory. I started by wanting to make the agent loop visible. Building PyreLine changed my mind. Boxes and arrows do not make an agent understandable. The canvas currently exposes the workflow's outer rules: allowed tools, branches, memory, approval, budgets, and guardrails. That is enough to inspect, change, validate, and package a reusable workflow. It does not make an ordinary run transparent. Much of a coding task still happens inside the model's tool loop. What I need is a usable run trace: the goal, the observations, the actions, the evidence, and where a human stepped in. The canvas is not a window into an agent's mind. It is a control surface for an explicit workflow. The second thing is memory. My work is not one long chat transcript. I remember goals, failed assumptions, decisions, blocked dependencies, and why something worked last time. PyreLine separates user, project, and task memory. It keeps the goal in view, records meaningful events, and connects repeated facts, decisions, and causal lessons. Recall starts from the current goal, not from dumping the entire history back into context. Reasoning can come from different models. The experience of how I work should belong to me more and more over time. PyreLine is still a toy. It does not erase API costs, quotas, or bad decisions, and it still depends on model providers. At least it points me in a better direction. I do not want one model's weekly limit to define how I work. I called it PyreLine to remind myself of that. I will improve it one real problem at a time. Thanks.